So, Shalom, Rabbi Weisberg. Thank you for your video on the two Messiahs, Ben David and Ben Joseph, from the 13th of April 2020, and your openness to accept additional sources and comments on this topic. So this will be an open comment to the topic. I have like an 8 pages letter, which I will also send to torahprophecies@gmail.com. So the email to Rabbi Weisberg. So it is taught that the Ben Joseph dies before the Ben David comes. But the worldwide Roman Catholic calendar date suggests that it is the other way around. So we are writing today 2022 after an alleged birth of the Ben David, Jesus from Nazareth. So I know that this doesn't fly with a lot of Orthodox people, but it's commanded, it's a dogma. So regardless if you believe in this or not, the Pope does. So, but you, Bethlehem Ephrata, though you are small amongst the clans of Judah, out of you will come for me one who will be ruler over Israel, whose origins are from ancient time. Therefore, Israel will be abandoned until the time when she who is in labor bears a son, and the rest of his brethren return to join the Israelites. Micah 5:2-3. Already in Genesis 48, Jacob references to Bethlehem Ephrata, where Joseph's mother Rachel died at the birth of Benjamin. Because I'm Israel's father and Ephraim is my firstborn son. Jeremiah 31:9. The sons of Reuben, the sons of Israel, he was the firstborn. But when he defiled his father's marriage bed, his rights as firstborn were given to the sons of Joseph, son of Israel, so he could not be listed in the genealogical record in accordance with his birthright. And though Judah was the strongest of his brethren, and a ruler came from him, the rights of the firstborn belonged to Joseph. 1 Chronicles 5:1-2. In the resurrection of the dead, described in Ezekiel 37, Ephraim holds the birthright of Joseph. Say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says, I'm going to take the stick of Joseph, which is in Ephraim's hand, and of the Israelite tribes associated with him, and join it to Judah's stick. I will make them into a single stick of wood, and they will become one in my hand. Ezekiel 37:19. For now, 1,700 years, so on the 3rd of March, 321, the Sunday law was decreed by Constantine. We have the Jewish Orthodox and the Roman Catholic position and teachings on the Messiah. But since 24/6/1717 and the foundation of the first Masonic Lodge in London, the French Revolution, and the foundation of the United States 1789, a third and completely secular position was superimposed on the three religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And we're talking about Freemasons now. From the 1st of January 1801, which was the Act of the Union in England, to the 1st January 1871, which was the foundation of the German Empire, the order in Europe was changed from Holy Roman Empire of German nations under canonical law to English-inspired admiral law, also as international trade laws codified today in the UCC, Universal Commercial Code, which is complete private law. It's private law from Latin privatere, to rob and to steal. So 21st of February 1848, the Communist Manifesto, including the demand for a central bank, was published by Karl Marx, and a month later the March Revolution took place. Marx comes from his father's and mother's side, from a long line of Orthodox rabbis, until his father converted to Christianity and joined a Masonic lodge. Theodor Herzl visited the Pope in January 1904 to promote the Zionist and very socialist movement, where the Pope told Herzl that because the Jewish people didn't accept Jesus, the Pope couldn't accept the Jewish people. While he could not forbid the Jews to go back to Israel and Jerusalem, he could not sanction it. The Pope saw two possibilities. A, the Jewish people continue with Torah and wait until the Messiah comes. B, the Jewish people go to Jerusalem without religion, which is the case actually now. So, On 11/11/1906, the American Jewish Committee, AJC, was founded amongst others by Heinrich Jacob Schiff, German banker, who later was involved and created the Federal Reserve, who opened their office on 1/1/1914. So Schiff was the father-in-law of Paul Warburg, who was also involved in the foundation of the Federal Reserve Bank and the first foundation chairman of the Council of Foreign Relations, CFR, in 1921. So this is how it looks like. In God we trust, one. So how does this look? See the stone I have set in front of Yeshua in Hebrew, Joshua in English, and Jesus in Greek. There are 7 eyes on that one stone, and I will grave an inscription on it, says the Lord Almighty, and I will remove the sin of this land in a single day. Zechariah. So this is dead. This is a dead note. And the whole world was indebted, so at the end somebody finds out who's innocent. I'm sure that you are fully aware that Jehoshua, servant of Moses, was the firstborn from Ephraim. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels were the baptismal godfathers of Karl Liebknecht from the radical left wing of the Social Democratic Party, SPD, called out the Socialist Republic in Germany on the same day when Philipp Scheidemann, also SPD, also declared a German Republic on 9/11/1918, 2 days before the World War ended on 11/11/1918. So 11/11/1906, AJC opens, 11/11/18, 12 years later, the war is over, and the dollar becomes the predominant world currency. 11 of February 1929, Benito Mussolini gave the isolated Pope a kingdom, still in existence today. 20th of July 1933, the government of Adolf Hitler, he had his birthday yesterday, today we have the 21st of April, the government of Adolf Hitler signed a concordat with the church which allows the Roman Catholic Church to exercise their religion freely. And since Adolf Hitler was Catholic, the church clerics received a special status, still active today. So in Germany and worldwide, we are still under the same fascist, Edomite, Roman Catholic Church, where Adolf Hitler was a very welcome member. Now, Joe Biden is also a member in this awesome religious group. So 1911, 1938, so 9/11 was the revolution, 9/11, 1938, the National Socialists under Adolf Hitler revenged the International Socialist takeover of Germany in the Reichspogrom night, also known as the Night of Scattered Glasses. So 9/11, 1989, the Berlin Wall came down. So 9/11. So 9/11 in the in American date or English date, of course, is September 11. So 9/11, 1990, George W. Bush held his first New World Order speech in Congress at the State of the Union. So 9/11, 2001, the attack on the Twin Towers occurred. In the same day of great slaughter, when the towers fall, streams of water will flow on every high mountain and every lofty hill. Isaiah 30:25. So I believe that the 9/11 attacks are, of course, written in the prophetic word, the Bible. So 9/11, 2018, so I'm talking about now the 9th of November, David Rothschild from Paris and Jacob Rothschild from London received out of the hands of Ronald Lauder, chairman of the World Jewish Congress, the Theodor Herzl Award for the redemption of Israel and the resettlement of the Jewish people in their original home in Eretz Israel. So 11/11, 2018, 100 years of the end of World War I, was remembered in Paris. Since 11/11/11 at 11 o'clock and 11 minutes, the Anthem Memorial lit up the Great Seal of the United States for the first time. So this is how it looks like, and it's quite interesting. So on Veterans Day, November 11, the design allows the sun rays to spotlight the Great Seal at 11:11 at Mountain Standard Time. Yeah. The design goal was 11:11 a.m., but the variations, e.g., caused by the precise alignment of the next 100 years to be between 11:10:58 and 11:11:22. So that's from Wikipedia. From 2011 to 2018, the Great Seal measures to the second 7 years and lit up the Great Seal 8 times. So this is exactly like the Hanukkah. So you have here the servant light, lights up the, so here's the servant light, which lights up the Hanukkah, Great Seal. Hope this is understandable. In 2018, Israel celebrated 70 years and Donald Trump opened up his embassy in Arnona. 70 years Israel, from 14/5/1948 to 14/5/2018 equals 25,567 days. 7 years from 11/11/2011 to 11/11/2018 equals 2,557 days. Let his mind be changed from that of a man, and let him be given the mind of an animal, till 7 years passed by for him. The decision is announced by messengers, the holy ones declare the verdict, so that the living may know that the Most High is sovereign over all kingdoms on earth, and give them to anyone he wishes, and sets over them the lowliest of people. Daniel 4:16-17. So the 25th of May, in a normal year, is the 145th day of the year. So in a leap year, 9/11 is day 255 with 111 days to go. Due to the Metonic cycle, every 19 years, the 25/5 of the Roman calendar is a 6th and 7th Sivan in the Jewish calendar, and Shavuot and Pentecost align. So Shavuot, of course, is traditionally the birthday and day of death of King David. The last time this phenomena occurred was the 25th of May, 2015. It is quite certain that the first Masonic Pope was Paul VI, who finalized the Second Vatican Council with several dogmatic constitutions and papers, including Nostra Aetate. So on 25/5/1967, the Church released a law called Eucharisticum Mysterium, combining the phenomena of the 19-year Metonic cycle and the birthday of King David within the date. So, and it's the only possible date within 2,000 years, by the way. So, 25/5/1967 was Corpus Christi in the Catholic calendar, but Passa Sheni in the Jewish calendar. Only afterwards, the Six-Day War started and liberated the Temple Mount on Mount Zion on the 7th of June, 1967. So on the 14th of June, 1967, the first free Shavuot was celebrated in the liberated Jerusalem after 1,897 years. So Hezekiah sent word to all Israel and Judah, and also wrote letters to Ephraim and Manasseh, inviting them to come to the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem and celebrate the Passover to the Lord, the God of Israel. The king and his officials and the whole assembly in Jerusalem decided to celebrate the Passover in the second month. They had not been able to celebrate it at the regular time because not enough priests had consecrated themselves and the people had not assembled in Jerusalem. 2 Chronicles 30:1-3. So which is the situation over the last 3 years, and no, the Passover sacrifice was not brought up on the Temple Mount, as we know. There was quite some stir and revolts. So on 25/5/1995, the encyclica Ut Unum Sint is released, which explains in paragraph 5 that God's plan is especially Ezekiel 37:16-28. So Ut Unum Sint, they may be one, comes to the 19th anniversary of this Eucharisticum Mysterium. So on the 19th anniversary, the Pope visits the Temple Mount. So when we calculate 25/5/67 plus 40 years equals 25/5/7. 25/5/7 plus 2,557 days equals the 25th of 2014. 25th of May 2014. So Ephraim, the firstborn we are talking about now, was born 25,567 and left Jerusalem with 40, but experienced some unexpected events so that he was cut off for 7 years. Rejoice greatly, daughter of Zion. Shout, the daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. Zechariah 9:9. The daughter of Zion and the daughter of Jerusalem are the physical children of Ephraim. Here I am, and the children of the Lord has given me. We are signs and symbols in Israel from the Lord Almighty who dwells on Mount Zion. Isaiah 8:18. So 25/5/2014, which is the 19th anniversary of Ut Unum Sin, Pope Francis, the 8th king of Vatican City, comes to Jerusalem and celebrates a mass over the tomb of King David, where Rabbi Joseph Berger from the House of David oversees Mount Zion. So on the 26th of May 2014, Mario walks up onto the Temple Mount to start the abomination of desolation of which Daniel speaks, and Matthew 24 for that matter also. So 26th of May 2014 plus 1,290 days from Daniel 12:11 equals the 6th of December 2017. Donald Trump declares Jerusalem capital of Israel. So this is all done, and everybody can calculate it with timeanddate.com. The 26th of May 2014 plus 1,335 days, Daniel, from Daniel 12:12 equals the 20th of January 2018. Now, I put here below like a link to a guy. Michael is turning 80 on this day. So when Michael is standing up, the prince of his people. So Michael was born on the 20th of January 1938 and turned on that day 80 on 2018. So 26th of May 2014 plus 2,300 days of Daniel 8:14 equals 9/11/2020, which is the 19th anniversary of 9/11 on day 255 of the year. So on the 15th of September 2020, so just 4 days after the calculated end of the abomination of desolation, the Abraham Accords are signed at the White House. So on 23 to now we have also on the 23rd of September 2017, the star sign of the Virgin giving birth, reference in Isaiah 7:14 and Revelation 12:1, was visible in the sky. 23/19 2017 plus 1,260 days from Revelation 12:6 equals the 6th of March 2021, where the Pope visits in Iraq, the birthplace of Abraham. Now, all that has nothing to do with us. Everything can be checked, in the calendar, because we are living in some sort of show where people are put in front so that we who read in the Bible are able to recognize who it is. So, due to the animosities between Judaism and Christianity, hardly anybody actually knows what the other side believes. Only the Masons gave room for everybody to express their faith under the umbrella of religious freedom, but installed the Pope as representative of Christ or the Messiah. Or in other words, the Pope is a replacement for the real living Messiah and King of the Jews. Per Eucharisticum Mysterium, it is pinned down in Catholic law that he will hold this position until the Lord comes. On Tu B'Shvat, 31st of January 2018, which was also signed with the blood moon, 11 days after day 1335, Ronald Lauder visits the Pope and starts the We Remember campaign in line with the International Holocaust Remembrance Day of the United Nations 27/1/2018, which reminds on the liberation of Auschwitz in 1945. So this is how it looked like. So here's Ronald Lauder from the World Jewish Congress, and here is Edom, the Pope. Yeah. So let this wrap up. Let's take a look at, to wrap this thing up, let's take a look at Isaiah 7. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is only Rezin. Within 65 years, Ephraim be too scattered to be a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is only Remaliah's son. If you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. Isaiah 7, 8-9. Christianity insists that the Isaiah 7:14 Emmanuel was Jesus, but the context from Isaiah 7-8 is the end of Israel and Ephraim as a people. Ephraim is the legitimate heir of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which didn't change with the end of Ephraim as a people. Thus, the house of David was announced a sign. Then Isaiah said, "Hear now, you house of David, it is not enough to try the patience of humans. Will you try the patience of my God? Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign." For the last 2,000 years, the Romans put the sign of a Messiah ben David into the face of the Jewish people, constructed our time and calendar according to the sign and per testimony of the World Jewish Congress and American Jewish Committee, and even the last president of Israel, Reuven Rivlin, meaning the official representation of the Jewish people. They all accepted that sign by accepting the Pope. I mean, do I see here David Lau and Ovadia Joseph here next to the Pope? Yes, of course, they're talking to him. He is the accepted representative of the Messiah until the real Messiah comes. This, by the way, is now the new patriarch of Jerusalem, Pizzaballa. The chief rabbis of Israel accepted the Pope like the Conference of European Rabbis under Pinchas Goldschmidt did, below in the picture with Jerusalem-based Rabbi David Rosen from the American Jewish Committee. So they're all here. Here's David Rosen. So there's David Rosen. Here's Pinchas Goldschmidt. Gadi Gronich, who's a assistant to Rabbi Pinchas Goldschmidt. So they all accepted the Pope. They all went. So when we are talking now amongst believers, Jewish believers, who only believe in the Torah, or Christian believers who only believe in Jesus, so we should absolutely come to the conclusion that on the highest level, okay, they agree to disagree, but it is accepted that he represents the Ben David. This is what the Lord says. When 70 years are completed, Jeremiah 25 suggests that all nations, including Judah, had to serve the king of Babylon for 70 years. This is what the Lord says. When 70 years are completed for Babylon, I will come to you and fulfill my good promise to bring you back to this place. Jeremiah 29:10. The 70 years for Babylon was completed 11/2/1999. 11 of August 1999, a sun eclipse marked the 70th anniversary of the Jewish Agency. On the 5th of July 1999, the daughter of Jerusalem is born in Jerusalem 37 days or 888 hours before 11/8/1990, before the sun eclipse. So 1967 days after daughter Jerusalem, daughter Zion was born on the 21st 11/2004. 21st 11/2004 is the 40th anniversary of the dogmatic constitution Lumen Gentium, which regulates the inheritance of the firstborn from the dead. So he was not only put as a representative of the real Messiah, here the guy in white, but they also made provision in the law that when the real guy comes, the guy in white has to turn over all humanity and all their wealth. This law. Okay, just want to mention. So 40 years Lumen Gentium, where this is written, are 37 years and 180 days Eucharisticum Mysterium, the age of King David when he became king over the 12-tribe kingdom of Israel in Jerusalem. In Hebron, he reigned over Judah for 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah for 33 years. 2 Samuel 5:5. This time frame is known as the Key of David. You need to bring back the kingdom of Israel back to Jerusalem out of the hands of the Pope. I will place on his shoulder the key of the house of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. Isaiah 22:22. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. Revelation 3:7. I should add that on 25/5/2018, 11 days after the 70th anniversary of Israel, the European Data Protection Law, DSGVO, was enacted. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria, Luke 2:1-2. Every person, like Ephraim ben Joseph, who was born on 25/5/67, is listed like everybody else in a Roman tax list. Like everybody, since Jesus. Within 51 years, 25/5/67 to 25/5/2018, it is mathematically impossible to repeat the first 70 years of Israel and the actions surrounding the Jubilee years of Jerusalem, 5777 in 2017. So when we are taking a look at the prophetic timeline in the Bible, regardless if it's the Tanakh, when the prophets, for example, like Daniel, where we have the 70 years time frame in Jeremiah 29 and 25, where we have 70 years in Daniel 4, where we have day 1290 and day 1335 in Daniel 12, day 2300 from Daniel 8, 1260 days, Revelation 11 and Revelation 12, 42 months in Revelation 11. So when we take a look at these dates and timelines, they all passed. They're all passed. So we are really in the time when the real guy should show up. So, and it's mathematically impossible. So, because on the 25th of May, 1967, it was so 1967 was when Jerusalem came back. So within the first 51 years to the data protection law, it is impossible that anybody can repeat the time, the first 70 years, and repeat all the time frames. So the only thing is we can go back and take a look, okay, who was in Jerusalem and who has the story of a person who is missing in Jerusalem with the kids, okay? So it should be clear that despite any theological discussion, it is mathematically impossible that anybody would repeat the first 70 years of Israel, and now 55 years. It's impossible. You cannot repeat it. So regardless what your theology says, we are looking for a human with a text number. So this is what I want to say about this. So David Mellor Friedman announced already on 15 of May 2019, reported saying, they were exiled by the Babylonians first, then the Romans. Most of the prophecy in the Old Testament is a prophecy of the return of Jews to the land of Israel. And it happens. And it happened in our lifetime. The prophecy of Ezekiel has come true. So David Mellor Friedman was also informed about Ephraim, by the way. The resurrection of the dead already happened, with Ephraim being the firstborn from the dead and the rightful heir of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will bend Judah as I bend my bow and fill it with Ephraim. I will rouse your sons of Zion against your sons Greece and make you like a warrior's sword. Zechariah 9:13. In the moment it will sink in that the Ben Joseph, the Emmanuel from Isaiah 8:18, is the Gilgul of the Ben David from the Emmanuel from Isaiah 7:14, a position currently held only by Ariel Cohen Aloro and his mentor Rabbi Itzhak Ginsburg, who wants to perform a Pidyon Haben, the redemption of the firstborn. Ephraim will be back with Judah in Jerusalem. So as soon as this slowly sinks in, One of the biggest obstacles today is that indeed everybody, also the Christians, wait for an Orthodox Jewish descendant of King David, who won't come. Ephraim is the least of our people who holds the key of David, but is a despised Ger man, a German. So here are some of the websites you can check and verify in detail what Ephraim is all about. Ephraim.info, Zion5777.com, Torah.de, TorahClub.com, ZionElite.biz, TempleCoin.org. To say the least, we already started quite a while ago with our own temple coins, to pay our taxes. And I invite, of course, everybody, to join in here and to pay your taxes. So, and if you would like to check in with Rabbi Avraham Feld in Jerusalem, who was present at the Declaration of Independence of the nation of Ephraim, March 2005 in Ramat Rachel in Jerusalem, and who takes care of the lost tribes via Collatur. I sent him a copy of this letter and also will make it public on our various video channels and social network sites. Happy Passah, and hopefully see you this year in Jerusalem. So this is my letter to Rabbi Weiss. I hope that this will be understood. No, for Christians, no, Jesus is not coming anymore. It will be Ephraim. And for the Jewish people, no, descendant of King David is not coming anymore. He already came. Now the Ben Joseph comes, Ephraim. Thank you so much for your attention and talk to you soon.